E1 versus S1 Robin Summeretto is probably something that a lot of you guys are wondering, which one should you invest into? And I wanted to give you guys a pretty short video just kind of explaining the E1 and the S1 and why I think one is better than the other at the end. But let's talk about the E1. So E1, essentially what it is doing is it's giving Robin true damage for her songbirds. So whenever her songbirds are doing their attacks on the skill, then instead of having not true damage on those attacks, now they gain true damage and they will target the highest HP enemy. So this is actually really good in single target. So if you're doing like, she'll be really good in Apocalyptic Shadow and MOC. Pure Fiction, yes, but also no, because you know a lot of this damage is going to be focused on the highest HP enemy, which is probably going to be like the boss enemy, which is so weird in an AoE game mode that there's like a boss enemy in there. But it will still be good for taking out down like high HP enemies. So this targets those high HP enemies, and then the stacks of true damage and the damage that you're getting will be cut in half essentially. So the amount of damage that your teammates have done, the total amount will be accumulated and stacked up, and then every single time it does damage, it will slowly go down by 50% all the way down to 0. And so this is honestly a pretty solid E1, but really a lot of people, the reason why people say, oh, I think you should get E1 is because it's really just a stepping stone to E2, because it puts you closer to E2. And so that's why a lot of people tell you to get E1. And then if we come over here and we just look at the light cone, if we look at what the light cone does, honestly, I don't think this light cone is really good. And in my personal opinion, unless if you have E2 Robin Summeretto, then you should get this light cone. But I think that this light cone is not that good. It is good for her, but it's not as good as what E1 prepares you and sets you up for, which is to get her E2 if you decided to do that. And her E1 honestly is pretty solid, but the E2 is like really where she starts ramping up. But the signature light cone, which is the S1, is going to give you increased max HP, and then the ultimate recovers 1 skill point. So if you're in like really skill point greedy teams, or you're using her in those types of teams, and this is also pretty good. And then the 30% action advance forward is like basically Von Whack, but you get it as soon as the battle starts. So whenever you enter combat in, for example, MOC, then you would get this action advance, which is pretty good. And then you get this melody, which essentially increases your ally speed for 2 turns by 20%, which in my personal opinion, like, a lot of people talk about like, oh, you get this extra speed, but that's only for when you're entering battle, because it says when entering combat, advances the wearer's actions by 30% and grants the wearer new melody. So I'm assuming this is tied to when you're entering combat. I'm not sure if this is like just a flat 20% speed increase, but it says when you're entering combat, you get this new melody lasting for 2 turns. So it only lasts for 2 turns, and then while the wearer holds new melody, all allies speed increase by 20%. So you essentially have a 20% speed increase for Robin's 2 turns. And so in my personal opinion, I do not think that this S1 is that good for Robin. If you want her to be really fast, I would just use the free one that you can get from the Herta shop. I think that one's probably your best bet. There's a Hyacinth light cone which you can also use, but I just really don't think that this light cone is really that worth it. Just use the free option. Because it gives your all of your allies damage bonus, and it gives her like 12% speed, and she wants to be really fast. So in my personal opinion, yeah, sure, this is pretty good, but it's only for 2 turns, and then when you have more sustained and longer fights, I don't know, I just don't think this will be as valuable, especially when you're like setting her up to get to the point where she's in that state where she essentially is immune to crowd control debuffs, and then her action is like in the turn order. That's, I think, when if you can get this before that happens, then this is really good, because then that speed increase is essentially there for until she goes a second time. But yeah, I feel like this light cone's kind of hit or miss, but the E1 definitely I think is a lot better value, specifically because it sets you up for E2. So in my personal opinion, I think you should guys should get the E1 over the S1. Honestly, in Honkai Star Rail, like if we were to come over to the Pridewin just database and just look at every single character's asking this, but if you look at every single like support character, a lot of the support characters, their E1s are like insanely good. Like if we're to look at Yao Guang, right, and you're to look at her E1, this is also really good. Increases the punchline and the elation, and then defense ignore. Like almost every single support character, their E1 is like really good, and then it's a stepping stone to like their E2, which is why a lot of people recommend it. So again, if you're considering, that's my personal recommendation. Same thing with Trippy, E1's really good. Same thing with just honestly even base Robin and Ron May, like their E1s are really good. So if that helps you guys make a decision, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for watching. I wanted to put it out right before Robin came out. She comes out either tonight for some of you guys, the 25th, or tomorrow, which is a Wednesday. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and hopefully this allows you to make a more informed decision on where you want to spend your pulls. Thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.